Yes, my name is Yasumasa Takano. Outside Japan, I'm often called Yasu Takano. And I'm a physics professor at the University of Florida, which is located in Gainesville, Florida. Originally, of course, I'm Japanese. I graduated from the University of Tokyo a long time ago. And I did my graduate study in physics at Osaka City University, which is very close to this university. I had a specific reason when I went to graduate school to go to Osaka City University because in those days, as well as now, that university has perhaps the best technique in reaching very low temperature. But in those days, even in Osaka City University, the lowest temperature was very close to the temperature necessary to observe the superfluidity in helium-3, but it was not sufficiently low. So I looked into other possibilities, and it happened that there was a low-temperature engineering conference in Kyoto when I was a graduate student at Osaka City University. And from one of the attendants, actually two, from Finland, I heard that they have the capability to reach the sufficiently low temperature. So I decided to go to Finland, where I got my PhD degree. I still do research in very low temperature as well as in high magnetic field. And that's where my path has come across that of Professor Hosokoshi at this university. She makes very interesting materials whose magnetic properties are new or often address fundamental issues in magnetism and quantum physics. And we have a capability partly in our university, on our campus, but also another university, which is about 3 hours drive in Florida. That is a facility of National High Magnetic Field Laboratory of the United States. And they have the world's highest magnetic field, which is steady over a long time. Now, there are techniques to go to very high magnetic fields for very short time, like 10 milliseconds or a few milliseconds. But it's very difficult and also expensive to have a constant magnetic field. And some experiments, you do need a steady state magnetic field. And in that category, the highest magnetic fields are available at this facility in the United States. And since we're very close, it's relatively easy for us to go there and make a trip several times a year. And I have been collaborating not only researchers in this country, including Professor Hosokoshi's group on this campus, as well as people in Europe and North America. So the making discoveries, of course. I have not been fortunate enough to make discovery which the non-scientists may recognize to be discovery. After long effort and you encounter something which have not expected, and finally you get some aha moment in which you have an understanding of what you have found. Those are very exciting, intellectually challenging, but as well as exciting because you're the only person who has seen it at that point, and you and your students, and you're the only person who come up with the explanation of what it is. Some people have made major discoveries which may go into textbooks. I have not been fortunate enough to do so, but those are moments in which I feel I have been fortunate, that I have been lucky that I have chosen this area of profession. I think since the funding in science in this country has greatly improved since probably in the last 20 years or so, the facilities and laboratories have been upgraded in many places than when I was a graduate student. When I was a graduate student in Osaka City University, many of the things we have to make ourselves. And some of the scientific instruments which are commercially available, were commercially available, we didn't have money. The funding level in Japan was very, very low. So there has been improvements in that area. And also, increase in the funding has allowed graduate students to attend international meetings, and also the number of meetings within the country has increased. So students are more exposed to the very new research results, and they have more chance to communicate. And certainly I can see the communication skills of graduate students on average has increased. I had a chance to attend the meeting of the Japanese Physical Society perhaps 6 years ago or so, and I was really impressed by the quality of presentations by the students. On the other hand, at the same time, I should say, the skill of communication in English, both understanding spoken English as well as making a talk, many graduate students are having the same kind of problems we had when people my generation had when we were at the age. English education in this country does have a problem. I think the students have to make the conscious effort themselves to learn practical English, which can be used in their profession. Now, with this internalization of not just science, but the many aspects of our lives, it's very important that people can communicate with people with different languages, backgrounds, and you have to choose one language which works as the international one. And just for historical reason, English at the moment is the international language which you need in whatever business you are in. So I think the students have to make an effort. I think that I have been very, very impressed by this program. And this gives the opportunity for students to be exposed to presentations made in English, and also they have been forced to interact with the visitors, the guest professors in English, and they have learned at least. I don't think I cannot say that they learn very much how to communicate in English, but I think that something like this gives an opportunity for students to realize that communication in English is very important, whereas their skill in English is not that practical. So this gives them a realization, an opportunity to realize that this is something which they have to put the effort, conscious effort, to improve. So I really have to thank this university as well as the department. And of course my host, Professor Hosokoshi. This has been a wonderful experience. And I hope that this program will continue, and there will be more on a continuous basis. There will be a constant flow of scientists and professors from other universities.